NAHCHuntingClub.com, the official site of the North American Hunting Club.
I just hit the gravel, and that's a great feeling because that means I got out of town this weekend. I actually live in St. Paul, so it's not always easy for me to get out of town as much as I'd like, but I'm headed up to my family's farm 2.5 hours north of St. Paul this weekend. And we've got 80 acres. It's been in the family for over 100 years. My family settled here from Sweden over 100 years ago, and currently my great uncle occupies it. But a few of us hunt up here. I've only hunted firearms up here, but being that I'm starting bow hunting this year, I'm going to make it out here with my bow as much as I can. It's 80 acres, like I said, primarily field. This year it was hay. And on the east and west side, we've got popple plantations owned by a paper company. And then to the north, there was a popple plantation that was clear cut. The deer have been hanging out in there a little bit, catching some of the new growth that's at ground level. But I'm real excited to get up here this weekend because a few weeks ago I put out a scouting camera in a spot that nobody really has monitored too thoroughly, but there is a decent deer trail running through there. So I'm excited to see what kind of things I'm going to have on the camera. And I'm also going to put out a couple attractant sites this weekend, which I'll let you come along for and join me as I put those out. One of which you're going to find to be probably pretty interesting. Some of you might know about it already, but it's something I just recently found out about, and I'm going to put it to the test. So come along with me. I hope you enjoyed the experience, and stay tuned to check out that mineral site I'm telling you about. So I'm here at my family's farm, and I'm just about to go out to that scouting camera I put up a couple weeks ago. What I just showed you here is some Arm & Hammer super washing soda and some all-natural solar salt crystals, the same stuff that you put in your water softener at home. Now, what I've heard online and through some of the channels that I check out regularly is this stuff, when mixed, is a killer mineral lick for deer, and I guess they just love the stuff. So what I was told is you take a box of the Arm & Hammer super washing soda, you mix it with the salt to about 5 pounds of salt, and you put this stuff out. You're supposed to work it into the ground, but I'm just going to pour it on top, and I guess the deer just go crazy for this stuff. So I'm going to put it out in front of the scouting camera, and I'll just keep monitoring the activity throughout the year and replenish it if I need to, but I'm pretty excited to see how this goes. I got this stuff all mixed up, so let's go head out to where I got that scouting camera and we're going to put this site down. Just walking out of the backyard of where the home site is for the farm, and it's pretty nice just to be able to walk right out and get right to your land that you hunt on. Wish I could spend more time up here, but I'm going to put real effort into getting up here as much as I can this year. I'm just about to walk out onto the field, give you a pretty good idea what this place looks like. So you got a fence row running right down here with kind of a unintentional shelter belt that's growing along the fence line. Deer actually use this as a travel path. And back there you can see the woods. Now that's actually where the scouting cam is placed. And typically the deer will spend a lot of time out on this field picking around. There's some clover, stray clover out here. And back in this corner over here, there's actually a few apple trees that were started by when there used to be horses on this farm. They'd feed them apples, and then the horses would naturally poop out the apples, and of course they're
poop made for perfect fertilizer. So there's some apple trees back there. During the fall, this whole line here is usually covered with scrapes and rubs along the trees, and it's a real good spot. So let's make our way back there. I'm standing just on the other side of that fence line that I just showed you, with the trees along it and the tall grass. And the deer also use this as a bedding area, as you can see. Multiple beds in here. It's a nice hideout for them. They can be covered, and at the same time they can see a long ways. How cool is that? Kind of hard to see, I'm sure, in this camera, but we've had a lot of sandhill cranes popping up around this area lately. Very cool birds. In some parts of northern Minnesota you can actually hunt them now. I actually just spotted a doe on the other side of the field, along the other fence line. She's just feeding right now. This hay was just cut over a week or two ago, so not sure exactly what she's feeding on, but she's definitely in the zone over there. Very cool. I'm gonna stay on this side and let her do her thing, and don't want to make her nervous at all. Maybe I'll have a chance at her this archery season, who knows. You can barely see her through this, but she's there. I've never actually tried this with a flip video before, but I'm putting it through the eyepiece of my binocular. So I'm back at the site where I put my scouting cam, and as you can see, well, when I walked up it had 88 pictures taken. So hopefully there's some deer on there and not just a malfunction of some sort, but I'm sure it's probably deer and who knows what else. But I'm thinking about putting a stand up in here this year. It's a real heavy travel corridor, and as you can see, there's trails all over the place. And then back behind here where it's thicker, there's beds all over the place, as well as real heavy browsing going on in here. So there's definitely deer working through here consistently. I just don't know what kind of deer. I'm hoping it's the kind that has giant piles of bones on their head. Let's put out this mineral sight, grab this, switch out this scouting cam memory card, and I'll take you over to where our firearms deer hunting tower stand is, which is actually on the north side of these woods. I've also got this Wild Game Innovations Acorn Rage drop-in block. You can hear the sandhill cranes. Anyways, I've got this Acorn Rage drop-in block here, and I'm going to put it out right behind the Arm & Hammer mineral lick that I just put out. And it's not the most scientific experiment that I'm running here, but I've only got one scouting camera out here, so what I'm going to do is just see what the deer are hitting most, or if they're hitting either of them at all. So I'm just going to hang up this drop-in block, and we'll head over to our tower deer stand where I have shot a few deer out of during firearms season. I'll let you check that out, and I'm also going to probably trim some shooting lanes over there. Had some issues last year where we weren't able to get a shot at some deer that were moving through because we just didn't take the time to trim shooting lanes pre-season like I'm doing right now, so don't want to make that mistake again. So we put this stand out here probably about 4 years ago, and we've killed several deer off of it during firearms season. Nobody has hunted archery off of it yet though. So depending on how the wind is going to play this year, or depending on how the wind plays while I'm hunting, this is a stand on the north side of the property, and the other spot where I put that mineral lick is actually a spot where I'm going to put up a separate tree stand, which is on the south side of these woods. So depending on whether the wind is from the north or the south, you know, I'll alternate these stands. But this is a beautiful location. It's a travel corridor, as you can see right here. Off into the north, there's another farm, and that's actually their property line, where you see this tree right here in the center of the screen. But deer will travel right along this, which makes it a pretty good spot to sit. So I'm going to go put up that other stand by the mineral lick, and we'll check back here in a couple weeks and see what's going on, and see if the deer are hitting the mineral lick, and see what kind of activity is going on.